Alright, so this is demonstrating objects in space. Uh, this is the spaceship. I'm not going to get too into it right now, because I'm going to look at the stuff that I have. Now you can no longer say anything funny. Yes, I'm also streaming this at the time, so sometimes I will be talking to ghosts, because I'm not going to be recording the chat. I've got a couple tasks going on right now. The big one is I'm transporting some booze for a buddy of mine, and this smells like a setup. Some guy in some station told me to go get some weapons that he saw floating in some vague place in space. I think they're trying to jump me, so I'm not even gonna bother going there. He paid me to go get them, like, up front. So that's obviously a setup. Right now, my cargo hold is full. This is the booze that I'm transporting. I really only have to run it. You've got this tablet here that you can pull up your map on. So I'm down on this station. I really only have to run it up through this nebula up to Adari Central Station, right next to the prison mine. So that's not far. But I am up in the upper left-hand corner of the general gameplay area, and I do have to drop back down to this system, SKT 1080, because I want to finish up this bounty that I wasn't able to track down in that system. So that's what I'm doing. My cargo hold has the booze, some artwork, some hydrogen that I picked up. Somebody paid, one system actually paid me to take some hydrogen off their hands, so I've been dumping that out every place that wants to pay for it. Coffee beans, which nobody wants here, and then I've got some drugs. I'm not sure what kind of drug this is. It kind of looks like a pile of smelly stuff on a piece of paper. So this console lets you pull up the black market, basically. So you can see that they don't really want to buy anything except for contraband. And apparently they don't want it that much here. So let's get out of here. You have to shut your airlocks. And there's not much transition between screens, so it's kind of jarring. I like the little Windows switch. This is my module status. So this is how you access the circuit boards for each system that you have on your ship. You can see I've got 4 batteries here. I got one down here that's my main big capacity one. You can see this one is a different model. Some different manufacturing made this one than the other ones. So it's got a completely different circuit layout. And I've modded this one out. It used to be, I think, only this middle row was filled out. But I added these additional components to expand its capacity. It was, the manufacturer capacity is about 54 kilowatts. And my capacity, that now that I've modded it out, is almost 75. So that's good. I've modded some of these too. But you can see they're yellow, and that's because you can see like these HAP nodes. These are yellow too, and then there's green bordered ones. These have taken some surge damage. I'm not entirely sure why stuff takes surge damage. Oh, I just noticed this this section is not completely filled out. So you have to disconnect it from power, unscrew it, open the shield, drop in, and see this lit up. That means this is a complete circuit. So I've actually increased the capacity of this, which is good that I increased the capacity of this one, because I actually have a fuse in this one. So you can see now it's charging up. If I go over here, you can see my battery was filling up. So you can also disconnect them here, but this is the setup for MCOM and power priority. What things get power before anything else. So really, I feel like I should have my main drive before charging the batteries up. I just realized that. So that way, if I need to make maneuvers, my main drive gets the power from my generator before the batteries start charging. Because I was noticing that where I would be making maneuvers at low battery capacity, and it would be like charging up my battery and then discharging it into the main drive, and it would be stuttering out. Alright, so let's undock from this place. And I am carrying contraband, so I really don't want to get scanned. But on the other hand, this system, way out on the outskirts, and there's the only authority figure in the system. If somebody tries to hold you up, by the way, you can hail any authority vessel and tell them what sector of the system you're in, and they'll try and send a patrol out to go shoot the pirates, I guess. Usually you don't have much response time. So the pirates in this are pretty quick to drop a torpedo on you. And I have no countermeasures and no... Oh, I fired that torpedo for some reason. I don't remember why. I have no countermeasures and I have no point defense weapons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into this nebula, which I've got an upgraded nav map. I don't remember what the one I started out with was, but this is an upgraded one. This is the Cosmos CNMR, and it gives me full color. It's a full color screen as opposed to the monochrome ones that you start out with, where all the nebulas are basically just green pixels. This actually shows you dark nebulas, charged nebulas. So the nebula I'm in is dark. That's good because it makes me less visible. So I'm going to turn off my IFF, turn off my generator. You can see this is the readout in the center for how visible I am to other people's sensors. This is my battery level, and this is my power generation and usage. So you can see my battery's ticking down because all of these things are eating up battery. My nav, since it's full color, eats a lot of battery now, which is unfortunate because that's the one that I mostly want to keep on. But I can... So I'm picking up sensors over here, and I notice the authorities coming this way. So I've got my IFF off. I'd better go ahead and go into silent running mode, just so that they don't see that there's a ship over here and go, why is its IFF off? And assume I'm either pirates or smuggling, which that would be a safe assumption because I am. Yeah, this game is pretty cool. So when I went into IFF, it automatically disconnected my comms, my reactor, my grappling arm, and my jump drive. You can alter what things turn off and on by default here. So let's see. I'm about to come out of here, so I'm actually going to disconnect my nav to save a little more power. That way I can kind of wait. I've got my sensors, which allow me to see what my distance is. Bearing... Oh, my comms are down, so I can't see. Alright, let's connect my nav. Also, every system has a certain amount of boot up time. This is a fairly advanced nav system, so it's got a little more boot up. Alright, this guy... Okay, he just turned his back to me. Oh, and he just turned back towards me. Alright, whatever. He can't hit me with a torpedo before I get back, or I get docked. So whatever this guy's up to, I'm out of his range. I could call the cops on this guy, but I'm not going to. I mean, it'd be kind of hypocritical of me. I'm smuggling. I don't know much about the game Space Engineers. It was one that I looked at, but this one, as soon as I saw it, I picked it up. I was like super jazzed by the idea of it. Alright, so you gotta wait once you're docked for the airlock to equalize, then you can head out. One thing that's kind of annoying, especially early on when you're in the heavily populated systems, is every time you dock, you gotta pay your parking fee in order to undock. Alright, so let's redeem this. So this is a huge amount of money for a basic delivery. Like, yeah, I had to make a couple jumps, but I'm happy to pick up that money. I am not in a combat ship, and both of these guys are listed as possible threats, which probably means they will fire upon me, and probably means they have some sort of countermeasure, which I'm not going to be able to defeat with a maximum of 2 torpedoes. So I am not going to be taking those bounties. Let's find the black market, see if anyone on this system wants Vivid. It's below market. I believe the way this works is the green is sale prices that are above what you paid for the stack, but that's not much of a payday. It looks like they actually manufacture some drugs here too, and I could probably pick them up. So this is one buggy part of the game. You can shuffle stuff around, but you can't manually stack things. You're supposed to be able to put 40 units of any one thing into a cargo bay, but the stacking doesn't work properly. Why wouldn't I change my stream key? My stream timed out the other day, so I had to change it. Alright, so now I've got some options. I could pick up some more drugs and try and smuggle them to someplace populated, heavily populated, where the drugs are outlawed. Or I could try and take some delivery missions, which is a lot less lucrative and a lot safer. But I've already got drugs on me. So let me see if there's anything that's like on my way. I believe Kansa is a place that I could sell drugs to. They've got a lot of stuff that they want to move to Kansa. Yeah, all of this is going to Kansa. Let's see. Kansa's right here. Well, Kansa's not a particularly heavily populated area. I think it's just they do a lot of trade there. I want to take drugs to probably Leo. Leo's the most heavily... I've got some bad blood in Leo because I helped a terrorist escape from justice here. So I've had people fire on me for no reason. Well, I'm not going to say no reason. It's for the reason I just explained in Leo. Which means I'll probably be trying to run quiet there anyway. And if I can slip into a nice, heavily populated area and offload, let's say, some sand and some more vivid. I believe both of those things are strictly outlawed there. And that'll also get me back on my way to my... So I've got an email. Back on my way to my bounty. Alright. Got the contract. As long as I'm heading back to that bounty, for one thing, I just realized I don't have a torpedo in this tube. Might as well splurge for a heavy one. And got some money. But I have the feeling I'm not going to be able to afford countermeasures. No. Or point defense cannons. No. I guess just hope nothing happens. Alright, I said I was going to Leo, right? So one problem is, if you're using a jump drive instead of jump gates, you have to get into the quadrant of the system that is in the direction of the system you're jumping to. So there's no systems like to the left of Diwali or north of Diwali except for this one. So pretty much any system, I have to jump out of this direction from the star. And what is this? This is nothing. That's just a sensor ghost. That guy's a merchant, also a merchant. I don't see the cops, so I think I'm good to bump up the time compression. Alright, there's the cops. And they're sending... I've got something in my email. Let's see what that was. Thanks for that. Keep in touch. Alright. I don't think they're gonna scan me from way out there. So I think I'm pretty good once I get into this cloud. And it looks like they're interested in this guy, who is definitely a ship. I see radiation from that is consistent with a reactor, a drive, and I had seen something else temporarily. So they're curious about this, whatever this is. Looks like a Leander class freighter. Probably a smuggler like me. Alright. Full stop. This is close enough. calculate the jump solution. Alright, and as soon as I get into Leo and my batteries are powered up, because jumping, obviously, is such a strain on your system. If you're not using a jump gate, it does leave you vulnerable for a minute here. I did upgrade my reactor, so I'm got double the, oh Jesus, I jumped right into some asteroids. Gotta get out of here. So down here is my density of the hazard I'm in. I was burning manually, so I forgot to turn it off. Alright. That is a military ship. Not happy about that. Let's go up here and try and drop down into Columbus Control Trade. This guy definitely sees me. And I took a beating on both of these. So my grappling and my rotation. So if this gets screwed up, I'm dead. If I lose this this side pod here, because then I will not be able to turn, and of course there's what appears to be a pirate here. I'm gonna hope... Oh, that was just a sensor ghost? Either that or he went so quiet I can't tell. Alright, I'm gonna have to manually turn here. Now my sensors do not drain much power. It's mostly this nav system that does it. This is a major reason why not using jump gates is a little... It can save you a lot of time, and it's the only way you can get into the outskirt systems. As you can see here, these ones with lines drawn between them, those are the jump gates, which you gotta pay a fee to use anyway, but... Alright, gotta turn my engine on. So everyone can see my reactor right now, but hopefully they're far enough away that they can't see any of my other systems coming on. So it's really just my reactor. And once it shuts off, hopefully their systems will just show like a blip, and then it'll go away, and they'll go, oh, it was a sensor ghost. Same with that turn. And another thing you can do is you can limit the amount of power that your main drive uses for doing main engine burns. So like right now I'm at 30%, so it takes 30 times, or it takes like 3 times as long to get up to speed in that direction. Okay, these asteroids, I should have gone around this other way, because I'm going towards the jump gate, which is usually heavily patrolled. Who needs to see where they're going? Yeah, that's true. If I were a real pilot, I'd be doing this all based on time and like counting out my burns and stuff. But I am not a real pilot. I'm a total fraud. Okay. Burn this way, and it looks like Once I have a straight line shot, I can go completely dark and just use my sensors, which don't use much power, to just keep an eye on how close I am to Prefect Outpost. And then once I'm close enough that I need to start doing maneuvers for docking, then I can come back as silent running. They won't have time to scan me and find me. I want to give myself some time after that burn to turn my reactor on, because again, I only want like one sensor signal at a time. Because if you see multiple systems on your sensors, your sensor computer automatically assigns what it thinks the class is. And Del Rey is heading directly towards me, so it's time to disconnect my nav. So now, I just need to get within, I want to say about 40 GM. I don't know what that unit of measurement is. Attention, Ceres Mark III. You what? You were traveling. Let's turn my comms back on. Attention, Ceres Mark III. You are traveling with IFF off and will be scanned. I hope they weren't talking about me. Ah, smuggling fine. A fine of 300 credits has been issued. I got caught. I flew right by them. Alright, whatever. I got caught. It happens. Hopefully they don't confiscate it. And at least it was just a fine. Alright, so this is... yeah. They bumped my fees up because I got caught smuggling. That got added onto... Let's see if I can at least sell this on the black market before I move on. Yeah. I made a lot of money here. I'm just going to sell the rest of it so that I don't have it on me. Alright, and finally I can get rid of these artworks. Apparently people here appreciate it. I can get rid of my coffee. I'm just going to dump this. Oh yeah, I forgot to see what the price was on my sand. Well, it's better than what I paid for it. Alright. I pulled 10 grand out of that whole deal. And yes, I have to pay... these guys off. So there's characters. You can see this guy's going a little blue. He wants to talk to me. Someone else wanted to talk to me. This lady or whatever wanted to talk to me. I might do that on my own, but it looks like I've got actual work here. Oh yeah, I've got to beat the dings out of my stuff there. And now I can look and see about upgrading some stuff. So, yeah, my full color, this takes 40 kilowatts. Mine takes 50. So that's a full color I don't know what the R means. These are /1s. So I don't know if these are upgraded versions or what. But it's basically the same. It's the same manufacturer, the Cosmos manufacturer. I wish you could find out more about that kind of stuff. So yeah, sensors have different ranges, how many ghosts they have. So I might be buying some of this stuff now that I've got a little more cash. Certainly I want countermeasures. Just in case I get a torpedo up the tailpipe. Alright, well, I think that's probably enough of a demonstration of this. I didn't take any real damage. I came close with those asteroids, but for example, if this system had taken some damage, and I'd have to repair it. Unfortunately, I don't have any burners, any spare burners, but if these components had gotten damaged, I could probably repair them. I don't have any spares here. I've got some spare, whatever these are, robots. But I could also, not from this one clearly. Yeah, I could have yanked some from my batteries, lower my battery's capacity in order to scrape together enough supplies to fix these. I really should grab some more burners. I could add some burners to my system here and make it faster, probably a lot less efficient. My reactor's as maxed out as it can get. The only thing I don't have on it is a surge protector, but it usually doesn't get surges. And my engine the same. The only thing I could change here is I could go with a different brand for each of these modules. And each brand has its own efficiency, power usage, emissions. So you can go with certain brands and say cut down on the emissions of each system you have. But that's about it. So I'm going to stop recording now.